The chicken came before the egg, or was it the egg before the chicken? But either way, if you got a pig, the pig you gotta kill it in order to eat. It ain't gonna make it past breakfast because you need the bacon. And the Titanic was built by professionals, and the Ark was built by amateurs, and that's how life is. I've been John Moody. Oh my God. Thank you guys for joining me. I am Miss Sophia the Diva, and we are here to discuss more of Bravo Sunday. This time we'll be discussing Southern Charm, New Orleans. This is an interesting cast of characters from what I can see, and I can already tell you that Tamica and Reagan are annoying the hell out of me. John Moody, he's an artist. He's very sensitive to the universe, even when it doesn't make sense to the rest of us. As we know from the first episode, Barry, who is a personal trainer, he owns a gym, and his wife, Tamica, they're having marital problems, mainly in the bedroom, because she ain't giving him none and he ain't getting none, although he is a personal trainer. But he seems to be very godly in his walk, so I don't know, but either way, he ain't getting none and he want to know why and how do people know. And I'm like, how do you think, Barry? Tamica been out there in them streets on bourbon, bumping them guns and drinking for 75s. What? Basically, she don't come to work out at the gym. I'm like, girl, that would be the first place I stop off after work with my gym bag, check in on my fine ass husband. Because, baby, we saw some things about Mr. Bear, and I was like, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's husband. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's husband. Oh, Jesus. God, buns of steel. Yes! We all could have buns of steel if we would all get out of our way and just get to squatting and picking up some weights and running every now and then. But okay. So, as we all know, Reagan, she is in law school, and it's so hard running a business and being a wife and having multiple dogs. And, I really love my husband, Jeff, but I really can't be with him 24/7 because I have to study so hard. Oh my God. So anyway, yeah. Reagan, sweetie, let me tell you something. As a law school graduate, okay, some of us were not as blessed as you, and I want to give you a way that you can study. Number one, you do not need a whole damn apartment to yourself. You can get a study carrel or get it popping in one of them study rooms that I know your lovely university has. Where is she at? Loyola or Tulane? I don't know. What? Child, don't give me the line about what Miss Reagan got going on. But either way, she's going to get this apartment in the French Quarter. And Jeff is all stoked about it. Her husband is a former New Orleans Saints. He played in NFL, I believe, for 7 years. We learned that he's been doing some things to help prevent the brain damage to help stop the progression of the brain damage that he sustained while playing in the NFL all those years, such as fasting. And he said that fasting helps with preventing, brain blots or whatever. But either way, she's like, oh my God, I really hate the NFL. I was like, but you didn't hate when he was having them checks, but now his mama done made off of some of his money, and his mom and dad are just doing him really dirty. Now with Reagan talking about she needs to be away from him and separated from him in their 4,200 square foot house. But girl, I get it. The distance and traveling and stuff that can be stressful as law students, we are stressed out. But I really don't see how him coming over to visit you every now and then, because one thing I learned in law school, if you want to keep your health, you might want to find an outlet to let out some stress. And they say that being in a relationship and being loved and hugged on and having sex is very healthy, actually. So that's just something to consider. But we know that Jeff's mom absconded with funds from his savings account. And because of this, he's kind of in a funk and he's depressed and he's been drinking more. And one of the things I do appreciate about Jeff is that he is aware of the issue, but my question to Jeff is, what are you doing about it other than you having this codependency on your wife? Because we see in this episode that he's very codependent on her and she emasculates him on the regular. Now, that's one of the things I've never understood about certain men. I don't know if it's just something that they like, they get off on it. I don't know, but I've seen some of my male friends with some of their spouses and stuff, and I'm like, we would be divorced. Okay, there is no way you gonna tell me where to go, how to go, like I'm on the leash. Okay, but then again, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. When he asked her what kind of law she wanted to practice, I was like, Reagan or Bravo with the edits. I think I want to practice trial law. First of all, there is a class in law school called trial practice. Okay. Trial practice exposes you to a few aspects of law. There are two forms. You've got civil and criminal. What she should have just said is, I want to be a litigator, honestly, because she wants to see court. But in court, you have criminal defense, criminal prosecution. You have civil, where you have plaintiffs and defendants. Do you want to do insurance defense? Do you want to represent people in personal injury claims? Do you want to do civil rights? What kind of law do you want to practice? By the way, if y'all happen to hear scraping and scratching, that's Miss Pumpkin again. For some reason, whenever I'm filming, she likes to do this. I don't know why. I think it's because she's spoiled and likes to be the center of attention. Quite frankly, if I was you, Jeff, I would just be like, okay, well, you gonna do your thing. I'm gonna do my own thing too. I'm just gonna pooch on down here to the Hotel Montalban and hang out down to the carousel bar, and get it popping that way, okay? That might get her some act right then. But by her coming from such a wealthy family, I just think that she's been privileged for so long until she's so used to getting things her way. And everyone bends to her will. I did appreciate how Jeff is really there for her, because he was like, well, when I was in the NFL, she was there for me. If I needed a suit pressed or shirt ironed or whatever, she would do that. And I think that that's great. But now I get that Reagan is saying that it's my time, but at the same time, I'm like, girl, right now, your husband needs you, okay? Because I don't know. I'm worried about Mr. Jeff over there. But he was helping her get set up for the photo shoot. She has a jewelry line of some sort. I don't know what other businesses, what other streams of income she has. I was like, good, no. Can I just get somebody to invest in my stuff so I can get my websites and my monetization of all this stuff done? You know what, though? I'm not going to worry about it, because God is good. He gonna make a way. Manna from heaven. Yes. Okay? But anyway, she seems to think that people want Jeff. But now the more I look at, first I was like, girl, don't nobody want Jeff like that. But then I was like, if we get rid of that beard and clean him up and get him to a happy spot, child, we could work with Mr. Jeff. Then John Moody at one point said, I'm going to need for Jeff to dye his hair black. I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Because John, let's move on to him. John is the artiste of the group, and he has decided that he's going to have a guys' night in with an art party, and that's where the name of this episode comes from, art party. So he talking about what everybody need. Now, mind you, John is a deep 24-year-old young man. He's invited all these men to come out to an art party. John said something that was interesting. He said that he's not interested in committing to anyone or marrying anyone until he can provide for them by having a steady $10 million in the bank. I said, oh, such an ambitious young man. Too bad you're too young for me. Although we would look cute together, because I really don't think I look 41. I am 41. And he has some great art pizzas too. So, no. But either way, he's your typical art dude. He done got with some chick named Jasmine, I think. He down to the bar with her, talking about, you gonna be with me all night, ain't you, girl? She was like, show you right, Daddy. I was like, oh, Lord Jesus. But when Justin met up with John, when he was doing all this deep thinking about a chicken and a pig and the Titanic versus the Ark, John, baby, you just found the tightest thing you could put on, because Justin was like, it's damn 80 degrees outside. And I was like, I'm willing to bet it's probably humid too. And he got on this damn tan turtleneck. I was like, talking about looking like a 90s, or what did he say, a 90s R&B throwback or something. All I could think about was having, now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? Okay. Oh, man, he rested in peace. But anyway, he reminded me of like one of the background dancers for Heavy D and the Boys. To me, if you watch Atlanta FX, John Moody is like the Darius of this cast. I mean, basically, so methodically deep, We meet Tamica's brother, and we also learn more about Tamica's story. When she was still like barely into elementary, I'm going to assume her father died at age 36. He was a New Orleans Saint football player. 3 years after her father passed, her mother got diagnosed with MS. And there are varying levels of MS, and as we saw at the dinner party, her mother is alive and well and was there at the party. But her brother didn't show up, so we meet Michael. Michael, I like him. He's just so laid back, casual, whatever. Cool brother. He has a nonprofit called Son of a Saint. And Tamica's supposed nemesis, why are you so obsessed with me? Is there. She started out as a donor, and then, oh my God, she's on the board. She's like everywhere. She trains with my husband, and oh my God, she's on this board. She like wants my life. She's stalking me. I was like, girl, this sounds like a bad Lifetime movie right here. It's like you're imagining that. For those of us who are avid Lifetime movie watchers, y'all remember that one where Heather Locklear was going to see a therapist, and she was talking about how she had this life, and it turned out it really wasn't her life. It turns out all of these stories were made up, but in her mind they were real. That's how I see Tamica going right about now with this whole Gian thing. And I'm trying to figure out, I know they were debutantes together, but I'm like, Tamica, you have to give us something more for us to figure out why it is that you have this obsession with believing that Gian is obsessed with you. Girl, you ain't even got to worry about her, girl, because, I mean, she needs some edges. I'm just going to say that. But, okay. And then what really, and here's a teachable moment in this reality series. If you've got donors and you're on a public, if you're on a show that's going to be broadcast nationwide or broadcast period anywhere, maybe you shouldn't talk about a donor, someone that's actually helping your brother's nonprofit, which is also helping the city of New Orleans, which I was telling somebody one time, after I visited New Orleans as an adult, because I only went as a kid once, or a teenager, so of course we didn't get to have no real fun. But I really wanted to live in New Orleans in the French Quarter, and this just isn't something that came up. I used to read Elin Harris's books, and I can't remember what his main character's name was in that series of books from My Invisible Life or Invisible Life, but I always had a thing about I would love to live in the French Quarter, and of course this was pre-Katrina too, but either way, I did some search on the real estate, and I'm going to have to come up with some real money to get me a really nice condo in the French Quarter. I'm just saying. But I digress. So her brother is out here doing some good things, and it was so cute and so funny when you saw how he was like, she was trying to, she was saying, her and I, and he was like, she and I, and she was like, her and I, and he was like, she and I. And I was like, we can tell that when y'all were growing up, Tamica used to give you a run for your money, and so now he's getting the payback. But let's jump to it. So it's going to be ladies' night out with Tamica and Reagan. Oh my God. And the guys are going to an art party, and John is like, what better way to kick off this party, which he gave the theme of life. It's all about life. So we're going to be painting life forms, and what more beautiful form on earth than the woman's body. And then we had some chicks named Brittany and Time. I don't know. I just remember Brittany and Time. Anyway, I must say that Barry did an excellent job painting. He would know something about sculpting the human form. Because it was so funny when they were thinking before the women came out, they were like, so we're going to be playing like bowls of fruit. I mean, bring on the melons and the watermelon. And I was like, that ain't no watermelon. That ain't no melon. There's just naked women. But then we find out that John also invited to his party tons of other people. Like, it looks like he went down to Bourbon and World Street in Iberia and over there by Cafe Du Monde and decided, everybody come because I'm having a party about life and let's just get into it and celebrate. Well, I was really laughing because when all the people came in, that's when the married dudes were, shit. And Jeff was like, I love Jeff. I'm in love with him now. He is such a sweetie. He was like, wait, look. He was like, you know, when I go to a party, I'm not really sure what to do because if Reagan isn't here, I just don't know what to do. And all I could think about was Talladega Nights when Ricky Bobby was like, my hands. I'm not sure what to do with your hands. And like, just put them down. So I don't know what to do with them. I was like, hey, Jeff, baby, just be yourself and don't touch anything that don't belong to you, okay? That's what you do. Just keep your hands to yourself, you'll be all right. Oh, back up real quick. Also, another reason why Tamica does not trust her like Gian is because Gian knows all of her friends. Because like she's like, well, you know, John, do you know where he lives? And when they were having the board meeting, it was determined that they were going to have some sort of, you know, Man of the Year type award show to help raise funds for the nonprofit. And we find out, in addition to working out the gym and being on the nonprofit, she also knows one of Tamica's coveted friends that she just absolutely loves, and that's John. And she's like, "Did he know where he lives?" And she was like, "Yeah, I know where he lives." I wonder if Gian even knows. She's probably like, "This girl is sick and crazy. You need to just get herself off, okay? Because this is a lifetime, my deadly obsession ID channel waiting to happen over here." But at this dinner, Tamica and Reagan are talking, and Tamica is giving Reagan what I feel is some sage advice about the fact that she needs to stand by her man. And then that's when Reagan was like, well, I really feel as though you are deflecting because your marriage is so jacked up. I mean, you're the one not sleeping with your husband. So don't make your problems my problems. Okay, girlfriend? We found out that, which is a very serious matter, that Tamica, after having her daughter, went through postpartum depression and didn't know it. She just thought she didn't want to be married to her husband anymore. And so she just put all her business out on Front Street. But then I said, given the context, and because Tamica is a news anchor of some sort, she may have even done some sort of expose or a segment on what it's like to have postpartum depression and how she went through some things and wanting to leave her husband. Speculative, but I could see that. That's why I was like, Barry, that's how everybody know your business, because little Miss Muffet that sat on her tuffet over there, Reagan, told her all your business, because Tamica probably told her in confidence, and next thing you know, everybody know y'all ain't getting it on in the bedroom. Okay? I think it was Barry that texted Tamica to let her know what was going on, I guess because in case social media posts came up and he appeared, he wants to let her know that they're here at John's friend's house, that this person is letting John use the house for their art party, but other people have showed up, so I just want you to know that. These went, oh my God, get my friend 75 to go. Let's go, girl, get your purse. And they show up to the party, it's in full fling. The men are chilling, but you know the wives gotta come in there, and that's when I saw it, and that's when I was like, Reagan, that is not how you treat a man. Because honestly, I don't see a problem with the nude models. Art is art. Picasso painted plenty of nudes. Artists throughout the centuries have. People take art classes with live forms. So I don't get what the problem was. Then on top of that, Tamica and Reagan were just out of pocket. Reagan was like, you shut up, Jeff. You just shut up. I'll take care of you when we get to the house. I was like, oh, shit. And then Jeff was like, my hands. I'm not sure what to do with my hands. Then Tamica was going in on John. She didn't attack her husband, but she did attack John. She was like, if you're going to be having a bunch of women here, you need to invite the wives too. And then John was like, well, when you were out at your ladies' night, were there not other people around? I was like, all of my purple life, I've been looking for a dame who wanna be my wife. Erotic city, can't you see? Fuck the pretty, you and me. Every time I come my head. I'm sorry, that just came to my mind when John started talking like that, because I was like, that looked like something Prince would have said back in the day. I just thought it was totally blown out of proportion. The behavior was wholly unnecessary. The way that Reagan emasculated, it looked like Mortal Kombat. It was like, finish him! And Jeff was just standing there. I can't believe this is happening. Just the way she told him about the whole apartment, he just looked so crushed. Jeff, baby, it's going to be all right, honey. I'm going to pray for y'all, okay? Because that's what I do. I'm the praying diva. I will pray for y'all, okay? Oh my God. But what else was even funnier was Justin. Justin, when they came busting up in the party, he was like, oh, here they go. Don't you be talking to me like that. He was doing Tamica. He had her down packed. That had to have been the funniest part of the episode, though. I was, he did that good. He did that good. Kelsey, you might have a winner. Oh, and real quick, at the very beginning, in a very brief clip, Kelsey is kind of hinting at Justin that she wants to get married. And I didn't realize at the time that since he's having his childhood home renovated, that they're going to be living with his parents. Wonder what that's going to be like. Anyway, Kelsey girl, just, drop a hint and leave it. If he don't take the bait and you sitting there 2-3 years later, move on. But anyways, I really enjoyed Justin's imitation of Tamica. Also, Jeff did reach out to me on Twitter, and when John said that he needed to dye his hair black, he said it's funny because in undergrad I actually dyed my hair black. Also, with John, he was saying something, I didn't clear that up, but let me clarify his right now. When John Moody was talking about keeping a consistent $10 million cash flow in the bank, that's awesome, that's admirable, that's ambition, and it can totally happen for you because you're well on your way. But honestly, if you can just be a provider and make sure that all the bills are paid, that your wife gets the things that she wants and needs, and vacations throughout, we good, okay? Most women would be good. Now, the women that are a little bit more aggressive about it, I would give them a side eye and a peace sign. As for Jeff and his mom's situation, Jeff, you won't be the first child to be robbed by your parents. There are thousands and probably hundreds of thousands of people that graduate from high school and get out into the world and try to apply for credit and find out mom and dad have been using their credit since birth. So you are not alone in that. It didn't happen to me, but I know someone whose aunt stole all the grandkids stuff, and because family is family, instead of locking her up, my one friend decided to work like a dog to pay off all the debt to keep her aunt from going to jail. Not me. Lock your ass up. You stole. I don't trust you. Blood is blood, but right is right. Okay? And so is wrong. And I think it was highly inappropriate how Tamica stepped to John and went off on him and ruined his party. But that's neither here nor there. Next week, I don't remember what happened, but I do remember that there is a very dramatic scene where we see Jeff exiting the vehicle that him and Reagan are sharing because he just can't take it anymore. I was like, child, we 2 episodes in, we can't take Reagan anymore either. But either way, I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Southern Charm, New Orleans. I'm here for it. Someone did come on and say, oh, you would like the other Southern Charm much better. And I was like, maybe that's great for you. But honestly, first of all, I love New Orleans. And this cast is somewhat diverse. We talked about that, about the fact that, of course, we have a white couple on here to kind of intro the show. If they last through the 2nd season, then I know Bravo might have a different formula for this show. Again, YouTube needs me to get to 1,000 or more subscribers or 4,000 views. This channel, as of this recording, is sitting at 248 subscribers. It would be really great if by mid-May I can be at 1,000. I don't think that's too ambitious. So why don't you take time out to subscribe if you enjoyed this discussion review, as I call them. And share with your friends and family. Let them know that there's a fabulous woman named Miss Sophia the Diva that has some thoughts and probably doesn't always see the world as all of us see it. Anywho, I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. You've been all that. Thanks for watching. Where's my purse?